Alright guys, and welcome back. I am Largo, and today we're checking out another death battle. Today it's going to be Galactus versus Unicron. This video was a commenter suggestion, so thank you very much for the suggestion. I know quite a bit about Galactus. I'm very familiar with Galactus. I understand who he is, where he comes from, his purpose, what he's supposed to do, what happens when he dies. Unicron, on the other hand, I really don't know anything about, other than he is the big baddie in the universe of Transformers. I don't know a ton about Transformers. I know just the basic stuff. I know the good guys are Autobots, the bad guys are Decepticons. The Autobots are led by Optimus Prime, the Decepticons are led by Megatron. They're on some kind of endless war with each other, and they come from Cybertron. That's essentially my entire knowledge of the Transformers universe, so I've got a lot to learn in this video. Don't really know what Unicron is capable of, so let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what the guys at Death Battle have to say about Galactus versus Unicron.
Boomstick, what is the nature of evil?
Oh, it's 3.5 beers too early for that kind of question, Wiz.
No, seriously, is the wolf that hunts the hare evil? What about the bear that kills the wolf, or the man that slays the bear? Is that evil or nature? Perhaps this question was on Gallon of Ta's mind as he hurtled toward the end of infinity.
I'm pretty sure the question on his mind was, how do I turn this goddamn spaceship around?
Eons ago, the planet Ta was a paradise, the most advanced civilization the universe had ever known.
Too bad the universe was coming to an end. I hate it when that happens.
The Ta'an scientist Gallon watched as the rest of his race ignominiously perished and decided to die gloriously on his own terms.
By flying a ship into the sun, just like great-grandpappy Boomstick, the crazy old coot. But instead of being vaporized on contact like great-grandpappy Boomstick, Gallon got bitten by a radioactive god.
As the last living thing left before the universe's end, Gallon was visited by the sentience of the multiverse, who merged with him as part of a cosmic cycle of death and rebirth. As the old multiverse died, a new one was born, and the scientist Gallon was no more. In his place was a being of untold power, the ravager of galaxies, Galactus.
Well, despite looking like a masochist giant purple vibrator, G-Dog here is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel, baby! And there's only one thing he wants to do: eat friggin' worlds!
Galactus is so unbelievably, mind-meltingly powerful that strong doesn't really begin to describe him. Just being near him will begin to warp your perception of reality. In truth, he isn't even really a physical being with a soul anymore, but composed of energy itself.
The physical form that Galactus takes also is completely conceptual, okay? Galactus looks the way that he does because he's being viewed by humans, right? So when a human being looks at Galactus, what we see is a human-like figure, right? We see the big Galactus that we know with his big purple helmet and his goofy costume, and he looks like a human wearing an outfit, okay? When a different species on the other side of the galaxy sees Galactus, he doesn't look human. He looks like whatever that species is with a little Galactus flavor on him. He's literally a universal concept, and everybody views him differently. It's pretty interesting.
Or cosmic. Basically, your all-purpose space god magic that no good almighty ass-whooping god can go without. Sure, he can use it to blast your ass to unholy smithereens, but it's a lot more flexible, too.
Described as being in touch with every other living thing at once, the power cosmic allows one access to a near-infinite pool of knowledge and the ability to sense danger ahead of time.
I don't think there's a lot for him to be afraid of. He can manipulate matter, read and control the minds of gods, and teleport entire galaxies across the universe.
The power cosmic allows him fundamental control over life itself, manipulating souls, creating new life forms from nothing, and even resurrecting the dead. And because his body is composed of energy, he can't really be hurt in the traditional physical sense. This allows him to grow or shrink his body with seemingly no limit, and alter his appearance.
Wait. He chooses to look like that?
His physical appearance matches the species observing him, so a human sees a human Galactus, a Skrull Galactus, and so on.
Oh, so it's just like how I see the world.
What are you staring at?
What matters most to me in the world. Awesome.
No, not awesome. Very not awesome. At least as far as Galactus is concerned, since witnessing his approach is itself the end of the world. You would only have enough time to pray to your paltry gods before Galactus consumed your entire planet, absorbing its energy into himself, then moving on to his next meal.
Man, I guess his costume is appropriate because he sounds like a total dick. Like, come on, man. You watched your whole planet die. Now you're gonna go around the universe doing the same thing?
It's not entirely his fault. Galactus's power is so immense that the only...
Okay, so it looks, from this list here, it looks like they're going to give him the ultimate nullifier. That's interesting. The ultimate nullifier isn't actually a creation of Galactus. I believe someone else created it. However, Galactus is typically the individual that's in possession of the ultimate nullifier. Even when it does wind up on Earth somewhere or something, like in the hands of Reed Richards or something like that, it almost always winds up back in Galactus's hands, whether they give it to him or he takes it back or whatever the story may need or call for at that time. But okay, I guess we'll call it a weapon of Galactus. It's, you know, I feel like it's more like a Reed Richards weapon, even though he didn't create it either, but we'll give it a Galactus weapon. He's the one that usually owns it or has possession of it, so we'll call it a Galactus weapon.
The thing that can sustain him is the consumption of entire
Or at the
worlds.
very least, it's when that thing's pulled out, Galactus is usually involved in the story somewhere.
Without this constant feeding, he would perish, just as humans would without consuming plants or other animals.
Kinda like how I hunt squirrels, cause I hate each and every one of them.
No, categorically the exact opposite, actually. Galactus isn't vengeful or cruel. If he could avoid any unnecessary death, he would. But just as the universe is bound by the laws of physics, Galactus is bound by his hunger.
And that hunger has put him in conflict with some of Marvel's other heaviest hitters, like Odin and the Phoenix Force. Galactus's fight with the Other and the Scryer got so intense, they threatened the entire infinite multiverse just as a side effect of the battle.
While Galactus himself can comfortably cross countless light years in seconds, some of these beings are more like abstract concepts than actual living things, many of which operate outside of linear time.
Like this alien bug dude who tried to use Galactus's energy to destroy 2 whole universes.
Alien bug guy is Annihilus. He was the leader of the annihilation wave that came from the negative zone or something like that? Yeah. Annihilus is nothing to scoff at. It's nothing to laugh at, but it's definitely not the strongest person he's come up against.
Even after being drained by him, he still nuked 3 whole star systems before getting a snack.
Should he somehow be threatened by beings beyond even the scope of his power, Galactus crafted a device to solve all of his problems, the ultimate nullifier.
In case that name isn't obvious enough, it's a teeny tiny weapon that destroys anyone you think of.
It doesn't just destroy them, it destroys everything. The entire multiverse is eradicated, then recreated without the target. An extremely roundabout way of winning, but it works. That's exactly what happened when Galactus used it on the abstract god of destruction, Abraxas.
He destroyed the god of destroying things with a Happy Meal toy. It's like my therapist said, great things come in small packages.
And the nullifier was key to Galactus' first great defeat upon his inevitable arrival on Earth.
When that pesky Reed Richards managed to get his stretchy hands on the thing, Galactus finally backed down and spared the planet.
Which makes no practical sense. The ultimate nullifier is a part of Galactus himself. It uses his own power. He can summon it at any time and even escape its effects by hiding in a pocket dimension. It even had the safety on.
Maybe he was just bored.
After billions of years of cosmic genocide just to survive, I'm pretty sure Galen forgot what it meant to be mortal. Perhaps that was the true evil all along, the slow death of Galen's humanity. Because what could be more terrifying than a being that sees everything and everyone you know and love as nothing more than his next meal?
All right, that was the breakdown for Galactus. It went pretty much the way I expected it to go. As you can see, Galactus is an incredibly powerful being, and he's known as the devourer of worlds. And from what I understand, Unicron is also a world eater. I may be wrong about that. I'm not really sure, but that's to my knowledge, where the similarities end, I don't really know. We're going to have to learn a little bit more about Unicron.
In the beginning, before heaven and earth, before light and dark, there was Unicron. Created by the formless, primordial being known as the One to explore the fledgling multiverse, Unicron instead decided to consume everything.
Dude, come on! Bad Unicron! Bad God! Bad!
The One decided to split Unicron into two beings, one of order and hope known as Primus, and the other of chaos and evil known as Unicron. Again.
Like all good sibling rivalries, they pushed each other's shit in over the fate of all existence. That is, until the goody little two-shoes Primus tricked his bro into imprisoning their souls in giant asteroids. Classic sibling prank. For me, it was the dryer.
Primus terraformed his asteroid into what would later be known as the planet Cybertron, while Unicron did something different.
Yeah, he turned his planet into a planet that eats other planets. Not only that, it can change its form into a giant badass robot Satan. He's literally the first Transformer.
And with this new body, Unicron would travel the cosmos, consuming planet after planet and universe after universe. Not necessarily because of any hunger or need, but because Unicron is the physical embodiment of death and destruction. He is literally programmed to destroy everything.
So he's the Transformers universe version of Abraxas, the concept and embodiment of destruction. He's Abraxas.
Gotta do what a god's gotta do. And good luck trying to fight back. Uni's robot body comes with a tractor beam, eye lasers, fire breath, a chest cannon, and an antibody system in case anyone tries to pull a Drax on him.
Unicron can mentally dominate an entire race of beings, erase things from existence, warp the fabric of space and time, and even manipulate matter itself.
So even if his big robot body is damaged or destroyed, he can repair it lickety-split, or even send his spark out to find a new host.
Essentially the Transformers version of a soul, Unicron's spark is immensely powerful and produces its own energy source, Dark Energon.
Unicron is so evil that he can literally turn his bad dude energy into weapons of mass destruction, like unholy blades or planet-busting lasers.
This Dark Energon will corrupt any that consumes it, turning them into a puppet of Unicron himself.
It's also obviously the opposite of regular Energon, which is created by Primus and what fuels the Transformer race. So Unicron basically runs on the opposite of life. If he's death as a big robot, can he even be killed?
Not by any conventional means. Even the destruction of his spark isn't guaranteed to end him. He will continue to exist as a necessary force that drives the cosmos. Anytime he's destroyed, he will appear again in a new universe. In fact, almost every Unicron you've seen in movies, TV, and comics are the same Unicron.
Unicron is a literal force of nature. You can't reason with a hurricane that hates you. All you can do is see it and get the hell out of the way. But this hurricane is never gonna stop until you and everyone you know is DED dead. His mere presence drove an entire planet insane.
I was trying to be poetic before, but this is what evil is. Incomprehensible, undeniable, inescapable. You can't even wait him out. He is unbound by the concept of linear time.
The Chaos Bringer is so powerful, his mere presence wrecks the space-time continuum and can erase galaxies from existence just by strolling by.
To be clear, it isn't the force he's generating by moving that destroys things. It's his existence. His mere being is so overwhelmingly evil that the fabric of space-time cannot fathom Unicron's presence.
Holy dude! No wonder he was able to devour nearly a quarter of the entire multiverse, one universe at a time.
Estimates for the size of the Transformers multiverse vary, from over 15 quadrillion universes to an infinite number of universes, branching timelines, and planes of existence. And who better to portray a being who brings death to the universe than the man who gave birth to modern cinema? A final role fitting for an artist so much larger than life. Or deeply ironic that it's a feature-length toy commercial.
The Transformers movie has always been celebrated for its excellence. I say,
Despite that unbelievable power, the Chaos Bringer's almighty rampage through reality has been halted a number of times, usually due to the matrix of leadership, the essence of Primus himself, and the embodiment of all hope and light in the universe.
Are you telling me that Robo-Satan was defeated by the power of friendship? Forget fear! I'm gonna need some of that shit going straight in.
I mean, but how many times is that the case, though, right? How many big bad guys in how many series and franchises have been defeated by the power of friendship? Like everybody. I don't even consider that a weakness anymore because it's so prolific. It's just a thing that happens. Like, hey, water is wet, the sky is blue, grass is green, and the power of friendship defeats bad guys. That's just the way it is.
Into the vein.
As the abstract idea of evil actualized, any notion of goodness is directly antithetical to his being.
As incomprehensible to Unicron as he is to us.
But despite the best efforts of heroic Transformers like Optimus Prime, Unicron has always returned from the smoldering ashes of defeat and risen to threaten reality again.
It's his very nature.
Such as the time a united armada of Autobots, Decepticons, and an entire people created from his cells, the Minicons, tried to destroy him once and for all.
They actually succeeded in killing him, until Galvatron's hatred for Optimus brought Unicron back to life.
Because challenging Unicron means challenging evil itself, destroying destruction itself. An impossible paradox.
You can't kill Unicron because killing is literally what Unicron is. So, what does that mean for us?
Every petty act of violence, every war, every cruelty, every death battle gives Unicron life. The life he'll use to kill us all. We are culpable in our own annihilation.
Unicron's not just some comic book villain. He's all there is and all there will be. He was there at the beginning and he'll be there at the end. He's a law of physics. He's as inevitable as your dying breath.
Jesus, now you got me scared.
All right, guys, that was the breakdown for Unicron. And not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised. I did not know Unicron was that powerful. The way they make him out to be, he is more similar to Galactus than I had originally thought or anticipated. Both of these are essentially universal entities, and it seems like they can only both be temporarily put down. However, it does seem like Unicron has the durability advantage. It seems like that getting rid of Unicron is more difficult than getting rid of Galactus. The only caveat to that, I would say, is the Ultimate Nullifier. If the Ultimate Nullifier is able to successfully work on Unicron, then, well, that's that. That's that. But part of me wants to say Unicron because he seems more durable. Like they almost seem like they're equal in power. Like the things that they're able to do are almost indistinguishable. And it almost comes down to not what they're capable of doing, but what they're capable of withstanding. And it almost seems like Unicron is the more durable of these cosmic entities. He seems like that if you were to destroy both of these characters, Unicron would come back first. If we're giving Galactus the Ultimate Nullifier, I think he's gonna win because the Ultimate Nullifier is so OP that they can't even write it into stories because it's the literal delete button, and it doesn't matter how you take your existence or how you take your form or how many universes you exist in. If you get hit with the Ultimate Nullifier, you're gone, bro. You're gone. So if Galactus can use the Nullifier and it works on Unicron, then Galactus wins. If the Ultimate Nullifier doesn't work, then Unicron wins.
As all things must, your world has come to an end. Halt! This planet is mine to consume. So saith Galactus, destroyer of worlds. Be gone. Thus decrees Unicron, Chaos Bringer.
You know what, though? You know what I'm actually thinking about is, I kind of want to see, because remember, Galactus appears in the image of those that view him, right? So if Unicron is some kind of like Cybertronian robot being, shouldn't Unicron look upon Galactus and see a Transformers version of Galactus? Shouldn't Galactus look like a giant machine if he's fighting Unicron? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm super curious now. I really, really want to see a transformerized version of Galactus. That'd be really cool. I mean, granted, I say that I want to see a transformer version of Galactus, and I'm literally looking at Unicron, which is the Transformers version of Galactus. But you know what I mean. I want to see the big purple and blue outfit as a Transformer.
Madness, so quick to beg for Oblivion's embrace. I am Oblivion. Be gone.
Just launching planets. Yeah, that's baller, dude. They're throwing stars at each other. Unicron crushed a star into a black hole.
I am the power cosmic incarnate, not so easily felled. Fleeing so readily, Unicron.
No devourer, transforming. Beg not for mercy, behold blackening sky. Against mine chaos, even gods will die.
Bro, dude, the scale of this fight is insane. Bro, they're just throwing like whole universes around at this point. Just consuming stars, black holes, planets, throwing astral bodies around like they're frisbees. Bro, the scale of this battle is fucking bonkers. Oh!
Galactus meets your challenge. Here's your call. This world will bring destruction to it all.
I am destruction, pure finality, in first and last, true immortality.
I have no patience left. Return thy dreams.
Oh, here it is.
To the void where none may hear your screams. You know not the power which you command.
Of course I do. Your death I thus demand. Finally, I have won.
I've seen your power, bringer of chaos. Yet by my vigor thou hast much need. Witness the last fate that awaits
Galactus and Unicron were beings who could manipulate reality itself and do basically anything.
Older than the universe, unbound by time, they had each other matched in a lot of ways.
So it ultimately came down to which of them was more powerful.
Both could threaten an entire infinite multiverse, but Unicron could only do so over time, devouring them one by one.
While Galactus' battle with the Scryer and the other threatened to destroy the entire Marvel multiverse as just a side effect.
Not to mention, Galactus tussles with cosmic beings like himself all the time.
While Unicron is usually the top dog in Transformers, he's a big fish in a relatively small pond.
It's true. Galactus goes up against infinity, eternity. He goes up against other cosmic entities on a regular basis, you know, including like his antithesis, like I said, Abraxas, right? Abraxas, the being that's created when Galactus dies, is essentially the same thing as Unicron, which is the embodiment of destruction and death and stuff like that. That's what Abraxas is. He is the embodiment of that cosmic entity of destruction and death. Makes sense. They certainly built up Unicron as something not to be messed with, and the sheer scale of the fight was just a pleasure to watch. It was just awesome. It's interesting though, because it looked like in the fight, it looked like Unicron actually took control of the ultimate nullifier, but it didn't work. So I'm not sure what exactly happened with that. I thought that Galactus was using the nullifier to erase Unicron, but it seems like Unicron took his spark, put it into the ultimate nullifier, and tried to use it, but that didn't work.
Relative to Marvel, at least.
That might sound better for Unicron at first, but it means he has way less experience than Galactus in full-on fights against dudes his size.
And while Unicron has used Dark Energon to infect and corrupt other beings in the past, Galactus technically doesn't have a soul thanks to his cosmic rebirth from Gallen. And he's fended off mental attacks before, so there's no real reason to think that would work here.
And as lame as it is, the ultimate nullifier is just really, really overpowered.
Despite Unicron being able to survive the destruction of his spark, the ultimate nullifier is significantly more thorough. Consider the time it was used against Abraxas, a being that embodied the abstract concept of the multiverse's destruction.
Sounds like somebody you know? Even against someone like that, the good old Ollie Nully had no problem erasing him from reality, and the same would happen to Unicron, while Galactus could always hide in that pocket dimension, just as he escaped the nullifier before.
Unicron was an insanely terrifying threat.
Okay, so even so, Galactus is still straight up more powerful than Unicron. It's just the way they presented Unicron. I was like, dude, this guy's serious, which he is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a pushover by any standards, but compared to Galactus, he is definitively weaker than Galactus. Okay.
But Galactus had the power, experience, and arsenal to ultimately annihilate him.
If you thought Galactus was going down in this fight, you were Unicron.
The winner is Galactus.
All right, guys, that was the fight for Galactus versus Unicron, and pretty interesting. I will say that the size, the scale, the sheer spectacle of this death battle was awesome. Was just great. I absolutely love seeing these two cosmic entities just play with the entire universe. Suns, stars, moons, black holes, planets, whole galaxies, all just being thrown around like toys by these two just colossus, cosmic entities just battling it out in the void of space, like limitless power being thrown around in both directions. It's just one of those fights. It's just you're literally watching two deities duke it out. Like, it's just awesome when you get these big, massive fights just on this kind of scale, when you realize the kind of power that's at play here. Galactus versus Unicron, man. That was a cool fight. That was pretty cool. As always, guys, I love doing these death battles, and I hope you enjoy watching them. If you do, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and consider hitting that subscribe button to help the channel out. As always, leave your suggestions down below in the comments. This video was a commenter suggestion, so thank you very much for that. And thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.